Here's Anita Anand. I just checked, and Mark Carney, the Prime Minister, hasn't said a word. He doesn't know what to say without offending the Hamas wing of his party. Here's Anita Anand, who is part of the Hamas wing. Last night she said Canada is closely following the escalation of tensions between Israel and Iran. Further action risks triggering a broader regional conflict with devastating consequences. De-escalation must be the priority. We urge all parties to refrain from actions and further destabilize the region. The protection of civilians must be paramount. Well, let me stop right here. Do you think that destroying Iran's chaotic terrorist Republican Guard and their nuclear plant makes things riskier or de-risks them? I think this is the greatest de-escalation in the region in 50 years. When she says the protection of civilians must be paramount, I showed you the laser-like accuracy of Israel's attacks. Canada remains deeply concerned by the threat posed by Iran's nuclear and ballistic missile program. No, Canada doesn't. Canada ignores those, and you just in the previous sentence said, stop shooting. Hey, Israel, stop shooting. Anyways, I don't think there's a single person either on the Iranian side or the Israeli side that really cares what Anita Anand has to say. I just don't think so. Here's the British Prime Minister, who is the most loathsome Prime Minister imaginable. Let me read it to you. It's pure Kier Starmer. The reports of these strikes are concerning, and we urge all parties to step back and reduce tensions urgently. Escalation serves no one in the region. No, it serves the interests of anyone who wants the nukes destroyed. Stability in the Middle East must be the priority, and we are engaging partners to de-escalate. What does that mean, you're engaging partners to de-escalate? Can you use English, please? Now is the time for restraint, calm, and a return to diplomacy. No, first of all, I don't think Kier Starmer's involved in any diplomacy. Again, who cares what he says? Donald Trump had 60 days of diplomacy, and he said, okay, time's up. Do you think the world is safer today than it was yesterday? I think that's a pretty basic IQ test, don't you? Let me help you if you need some background, if you haven't been listening for the past hour. Iran's air defenses are gone. Iran's missile systems are gone. Iran's nuclear plants have been blown up. Iran's terrorist leadership has been decapitated. Do you think that makes the world safer or less safe? Well, to Kier Starmer and Anita Anand, we have to de-escalate. No, I don't think so. There is, I've seen it over the last couple of years, especially since October 7th, but before that a little bit, that influencers, journalists, pundits, think tanks, even universities have taken a lot of money from Qatar. Can you Google Trump influencer Qatar? Because there's a story about how about 40 right-wing pro-Trump influencers have been hired by Qatar to, I can't find it there, but how Qatar has, yeah, that's it there. The new lobbying Qatar, there you go, Wall Street Journal story, perfect. Even just give me, you know how to find that one on archive.p, perfect. So Qatar is smart. They know that the Democrats are pro-terrorism anyways, but how about Trump? Let me read this headline. This is from the Wall Street Journal. The new lobbying. Qatar targeted 250 Trump influencers to change U.S. policy. Blockaded by Mideast neighbors, the Emirate deployed an unconventional lobbying campaign to win over an unconventional U.S. president. Let's just read the first sentence if we can. Longtime New York restaurateur Joey Allahan visited Manhattan's Park East Synagogue late last year with Alan Dershowitz. Come visit Doha, the capital of Qatar, by invitation of the Emir. It goes on and on. But my point is there's all these people on Twitter who so obviously are being paid to say insane things. Can you call up Jackson Hinkle's account? Jackson Hinkle is someone I had never really heard of until October 7th. And he isn't just anti-Semitic, which he is. He's pro-Iran. He's pro-Houthi. He actually went to Lebanon for the funeral of the leader of Hezbollah. Here he is praising, breaking, Iranian air defenses finally seem to be working. Scroll down a little more. Iran promises retaliation. Keep going. Prepare the hypersonics. There's him. I don't know if that really, I think that really is him with Khomeini. Keep going. The Iranian revolution demands a strong retaliation. Iran will reportedly launch 100 ballistic missiles. Not enough, in my opinion. Like this guy, all you need to know is he actually went to Beirut for the funeral of a terrorist. That's not normal. There's no real American right-winger who says that. That's not a thing. And yet you see these people on Twitter and you know it's because they're getting paid. No American would say that. Certainly not on the right. Some Americans on the left would say that, I'll grant you that. But no conservative, no Trump supporter would ever be pro-terrorist or would chant death to America. Speaking of which, pull up Candace Owens' tweet. She's someone who's gone absolutely crazy over the last year. I'm not even going to call it anti-Israel. It's anti-Semitic. She's got this crazy theory about Jews not actually being really Jews. Anyway, so let me read. This is what she tweeted today. Our foreign policy is dictated by Israel. Trump will continue to do as he's told by Netanyahu. If you want to know what America will do, spare yourself the fake White House press briefings and start listening to Bibi. We are a colony of Israel. Your politicians are bought and paid for. What did America do yesterday? I mean, it sold weapons to Israel. I grant you that. But America did not go to war yesterday. In fact, you saw Donald Trump. He's still saying, let's talk. I really want to show what Candace tweeted last night. Yeah, this is the one here. This one, I think, shows the emptiness of the anti-Israel right in America. This is Candace Owens last night. The most predictable war plausibly ever. Okay, I think that's true. Iran is threatening Israel with atomic extermination. Israel has been saying they won't allow that to happen. Yeah, I agree. It's a predictable war. I'm so sick of Israel, we know that, and those who pretend its actions are normal or even remotely justifiable. So you're saying that if another country were to threaten America with a nuclear weapon program and attack it hundreds of times, that America wouldn't fight back? Do we have the clip of her talking about Pearl Harbor? Were you able to find that? No, okay. Candace Owens gave an interview at GB News. And she said she didn't think America should join the Second World War. And the interviewer, Steve Edgington, said, even after Pearl Harbor? And she said something like, oh, I got to think about that. What? Her husband, who's on the board of GB News, contacted GB News and demanded that they take down the clip. I think we have a copy of the original, though. I'll try and find it. So, yeah, I mean, when the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, what did America do? They fought a total war, ending in the nuking of Nagasaki and Hiroshima. There were about 3,000 people who died in Pearl Harbor. Millions of Japanese soldiers and civilians died in the war that followed. That's how war goes, I'm afraid, especially if an enemy threatens to kill you, sneak attacks you. So yeah, anyway, back to the tweet. I'm so sick of Israel and those who pretend its actions are normal or even remotely justifiable. No, I don't think you are. I think you just don't like the Jews because there's wars around the world all the time you don't obsess over. This country has a bloodlust like no other. No, you're just an anti-Semite. Israel was attacked on October 7th by Hamas. And then other terrorist groups constantly attack it. Israel is stopping that. Israel makes peace with its neighbors whenever they would. Israel has a peace treaty with Egypt. Israel has a peace agreement with Jordan. Israel now has a peace agreement with the United Arab Emirates, with Bahrain, with Sudan. Israel gave away the entire Sinai Desert, including air bases, including oil, to Egypt just for peace. It was called Land for Peace. A real peace deal is peace for peace. Never before has the victor in a war given up land to have peace with the defeated. Israel smashed Egypt in a war. But Israel wanted peace so badly that they said, fine, you can have all the land back. Just let's be friends. Let me continue reading this anti-Semitic tweet by Candace. That's what it is. Have an issue with this tweet? I literally do not care. Think defending Israel's demonic actions is going to guarantee you a spot in heaven? No, I'm not thinking of this in some theological sense. I know you've rebranded yourself as a Christian. I don't think it's demonic. In fact, I showed earlier on the live stream how precise Israel's attacks were, like literally taking out one apartment unit in an apartment building so precisely that literally other apartments on the same floor were untouched. I don't think that's ever been done in war before. Can you Google Mosul, M-O-S-U-L, final battle? I want to show you, and I'm not criticizing, I'm just comparing. The United States, mainly, with some help from the Brits, liberated the city of Mosul. Yeah, any of those. The top left one will do. Liberated Mosul from ISIS. Mosul was a city of over 1 million in Iraq that had been conquered. It was the leading city. This is Mosul when it was finally liberated by America and the UK. That's not Gaza. Hey, Google one more thing. Chechnya. Russia, surrender. I want to show you how Russia fights its wars. They literally seal off cities and just, this is what they did in Chechnya, and they just artilleried it until there was nothing left standing. If you can find that, great. If not, it might be hard. That would have been a while ago. Like just Chechnya rubble. You know, how's that? Israel didn't rubble Tehran. Yeah, any of those will do. So this is how, I showed you how America and the UK fight in Mosul, and it's brutal, it's tough. That's what happens when terrorists base themselves in an urban residential environment. You can't stop fighting a terrorist just because this is Chechnya. That's Russia fighting Chechen separatists in Chechnya, who happen to be Muslim, by the way. And in Mosul, they happen to be Muslim, by the way. So back to Candace's tweet. Which is demonic? Now, the answer is both of them are wars. All of them are wars. It's just an unfortunate thing that terrorists hide amongst civilians. In Chechnya, they did. In Mosul, they did. In Tehran, Israel pinpointed them. Go back to the tweet from Candace. It's not demonic. It was the opposite of demonic. They wiped out the entire leadership of the Iranian military. They wiped out their nuclear plants and their ballistic missile plants. I'd be surprised if there were 20 civilians in the whole country that died. This may be the lowest civilian casualty war in history.
Let's face it, Canada's economy isn't heading in the right direction. Inflation's eating away your savings, and government debt is out of control. No politician is going to fix that overnight. With Guildhall Wealth, you can hold real physical gold and silver inside your RRSP. It's a time-tested way to protect your retirement and take back control of your wealth. Call 1-877-8-SILVER or visit guildhallwealth.com/rebel to request your free investor kit. And hey, make sure to mention Rebel News.